Benedict, thank you for joining us. We know that nominations closed. I didn't know there are a lot of people who wanted to be GFA president to replace Christine Nyantechi.
I saw Amanda Clinton the last one. I said,
that was a shocker.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
Amanda Clinton. And I'm told that he had been with the Football Association as a lawyer.
What happened was after the announced expose, you know, when government was taking steps to dissolve the FA, Amanda came in with articles, came in, you know, with explanations as to how government did not have the power to dissolve the FA. So she was fighting for the FA then. And then the executive committee engaged there to help let people understand the process and how government cannot, you know, take that step. That's how come she came into the scene.
All right, so that's the lady we're talking about. In recent times, she's been talking about men's gold. So a lot of people know her.
Exactly.
Her name is linked to men's gold, not the GFA.
Yeah, so
that's why this is curious.
She actually started with the GFA. I remember we gave her a couple of interviews here on radio and TV as well, and she was always,
after number 12,
educating people about the powers of the FA and that it's an autonomous body, a body that, you know, yes, the association is in Ghana, so everything that they do must be under the Ghana constitution, but they also have their constitution they follow. So for her, and everything that she said or, you know, was given out made a lot of sense when it comes to the workings of the FA and that of government.
What has Hearts of Oak got to do with her?
Well, initially the story that came out was that Hearts actually endorsed her, because, you know, normally what happens is if you want to go for a position of this nature, you need a club to endorse you, be it a Premier League club or a Division 1 club or even a 3rd division club. So the story that came out was that Accra Hearts of Oak endorsed there, and just I think it was just last night that Dr. Nyawo Tamaklo, who is a board member of the club, released a statement. You know, the board chairman is not in town. Toby Afede is not in town. So Dr. Nyawo Tamaklo released a statement denying that they endorsed Amanda Clinton.
Okay.
But with the Article 30, that's clause 2.3, clause 3 of the presidential aspirants, and then the clause 2 of the executive council, they expunge that, which states that you must be an active member, you know, at the FA. You must have played a role in football for no less than 5 years. You know, after they took that out, it allows people like.
So I could have decided to go for Jeff
and myself.
But you don't need the backing of the clubs.
No, what you need to do is you need a club to endorse you, so you can speak to any club.
Okay.
If Asante Kotoko, if they want to endorse.
So those are the new approved regulations.
Yeah,
can they endorse more than one?
No, for that position.
So do we know which club endorsed Amanda?
Well, now Hearts of Oak are saying that they didn't endorse her, so we'll have to find out which club endorsed
Interesting.
Amanda. Yeah.
Okay, so who is number 2?
Well, Wilfredo said.
Well, not in the number.
Yeah,
this is not in any particular order.
So just like on Friday, we had a show on radio, and you know I was talking about President George. Then someone calls him like, President George, why? Has he been made a president of the FA? So please, let's just.
So this is in no particular order. We're just profiling those of interest.
We can start with
George Free, who's not new to the FA.
Yeah, George Free is not new to the FA. He actually started with Mr. Christine Nyantechi, former FA president. That was way back in 2005. He was the only person, or he's been the only person that, you know, from 2005 on the executive committee. When Nyantechi was elected as president of the FA, he was also elected onto the executive committee. That's as way back as 2005. So he's been around for a very long time. He serves in so many capacities. He was once the chairman of the Black Starlights management team. That's the under-20. He was promoted to the Black Stars management committee, and then he was made the vice president of the Football Association during Mr. Nyantechi's 3rd term. That was an appointment. It wasn't by election. When Congress gave powers to Mr. Nyantechi to appoint.
You mean Congress gave power to the president of the GFA?
Exactly. So he then appointed George Fie as his vice president.
Did they fall out along the line?
Well, yes, of course. And this is open secret. A text message was sent to Mr. Nyantechi by Mr. George Fie, which didn't go down well with him. And after they took steps to, you know, take him off as vice president.
Because the president of the GFA at the time, which is of course Christine Nyantechi, had those powers.
Yeah, he had those powers. The only thing he needs to do is to, you know, go to the executive committee to tell them that this is the decision that I've taken, and they'll.
For which it was speculated he had his people on the executive committee.
Well, It was always the case.
Okay. Before we go on to the next, how negative could his association with the Kwesi Nyantakyi-led GFA rub on him?
Well, very good question. You know, just 2 days ago, 2 days ago was Friday, but so on Thursday he visited Chief Imam, you know, to seek for
That's
you mean the national chief imam, Nuhu
Yeah,
Sharubutu?
George Fiye visited him to seek for his blessings before he filed his nomination, and everything that he was saying in that video was that he was with Mr. Nyantakyi since 2005. So many elections he went through with Mr. Nyantakyi, be it here on the local scene as well as the international scene, CAF, FIFA, which he won. And for him, he feels that everything that Mr. Nyantakyi did in the last 13 years was okay. Well, there were some that he criticized, but others he thought that were okay, and those that he thought were okay are things that he's coming to, you know.
Well, after this, we'll ask you questions about his impact, Kwesi Nyantakyi's impact on this, and what legacy he has. So let's leave.
Yeah, no, but this is actually very interesting because this is a typical move that Kwesi Nyantakyi, you know, would take going to see the chief imam ahead of
of course, I mean,
of an election.
And it's something that we've gone to, you know, for us, because of how religious we are, we always tend to, you know, go to these people normally when we are going to do something.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure the other aspirants possibly would have done same, but because they didn't bring theirs out, that's why we all know of what George Fiye did before filing his nomination.
Interesting. But so that's two, Amanda and George.
Okay, then Wilfred Osei-Kweku-Palmer.
Wilfred Osei-Kweku-Palmer.
That's also a very known name.
Yeah, he has this nickname.
Yeah, his name is Wilfred Osei-Kweku.
But
the Palmer is the nickname.
Okay.
Oh,
Palmer
is
is not his name. Yeah.
Okay.
Palmer is not like his real name. He's just like
Wilfred Osei-Kweku.
Yeah, Wilfred.
Okay.
Wilfred.
Tell us a bit about his background.
Well, he actually started playing football way back. He used to play for a third division club, and then went into football administration. He's the owner of Tema Youth, a Tema-based team.
Of which I know very well. Yeah.
Well, and
Ashama and Tema Youth, we get plenty players for Ashama.
And in terms of football administration, he's been at the FA for quite some time. Been on the executive committee, marketing committee. You know, he has a marketing background. Went to St. Augustine's, and then was a teacher as well. He was a teacher, very, you know, knowledgeable man. When it comes to the football scene, he's one that you can always rely on consultancy in terms of business consultancy.
So he's also a businessman or entrepreneur in his own right.
Exactly, and he many actually want Palmer because of.
When you say many, like what quarters?
Well, have you taken sides already, or you're not talking about taking sides?
Yeah, are you talking about club owners? Are you talking about footballers, players?
I'm talking about people that we speak to, ordinary Ghanaians that we speak to, based on what they know about this man. So we did a poll, and I also did a vox pop, you know, spoke to quite a number of people about those that have filed nominations so far, and almost all of them, they talk about this man, because for some that know what happened during Mr. Nyantakyi's era, they think that he was the only person that could stand up and say, this is wrong, let's not do it this
And was
way.
he the one who was able to?
Yeah, you know, those were some of the things that we heard.
He was able to speak truth to power?
We were not privy to their meetings, the executive committee meetings, because these were meetings that were not broadcasted. He was the one that normally will come on radio.
Will raise the objections after.
I told Mr. Nyantakyi, I told the executive committee that this Start Times deal we were going to sign was a bad deal. While other members will come on radio and will defend. Of course, he will defend, but
so maybe the lonely voice sometimes.
Exactly.
Okay.
And aside that, he was also the Black Stars Management Committee chairman.
Okay, yes.
Served in that capacity before, you know, the GFA was dissolved.
Okay,
yeah.
but
to the next one.
Okay. So as we move to the next one, the last one, regarding this gentleman, there was one time I had some interaction with some football people in Cape Coast, and they seem to know him. Is it that he rides on those corridors of the football clubs, or because of his association with Tema Youth, he tends to know the various segments of the football population?
So you're talking specific Cape Coast?
Well, along those corridors, Cape Coast, Western region, you find Eastern region, they talk a lot about him. Yeah,
Western region, he has support there because his campaign manager is coming from that side. And you know, where the support is actually coming from, it's got to do with, after the FA was dissolved, he was the only person, when the members of the executive committee were somewhere minding their own business, he was talking and he actually faced government squarely. You know, he faced government squarely, and at a point, his passport was seized. At a point, he was actually, you know, a lot of things were taken from this man because he was trying so hard to fight government when the issues were happening between government and the football association. He was the only person seen everywhere. You understand?
Yeah, I remember.
And many feel that
available also to speak on the subject that a lot of people were running away from.
And many feel that because he was out there, put his life, his business, and everything. There were times that when he was traveling outside the country, he was stopped at the airport. You understand?
So he's gone through a lot. He deserves to be GFA president.
Well,
we wait to see.
For the delegates and for some, they feel that you know, they need to reward him for what he did.
All right. So let's see the next person that we have.
Ketokweku.
He's a younger of all of them.
Yeah, another fine.
The youngest of all.
Fine gentleman started football as early as at age 17.
When you say started football, as in playing football?
Yeah, for school team?
No, he didn't. I don't know about him playing football, but I'm talking about football administration.
Okay.
He was under Albert Comey, now Idiana Star CEO.
I thought he was a journalist too.
Yeah, he was a journalist as well. He worked at what's the name of this station?
Is it still around?
No, Choice.
Yeah,
he worked
Choice
at,
FM with Randy Abbey and the rest.
He worked at Choice FM. Then went outside. He went to.
So that's Kets.
Yeah, that's Ketokweku. Fine gentleman. Went to Liverpool where
for
he
his university.
He
did his masters
in football.
In sports something.
Is related to football sports, and came back. Set up Dreams FC.
Now he's president of the
executive
Dreams FC.
Chairman of Dreams FC.
No, not president. Executive
There's a difference. He's done quite a number of things. He was vice chairman of the MTN FA Cup committee. Remember when the competition was in abeyance for 10 years? It was Kurt Alhaji Jawula that brought it back. And after Alhaji left the scene, Kurt became the chairman and took.
Yesterday I was reading a lot about Kurt, and apparently he was very instrumental in Baba Rahman going to Chelsea.
Of course, I mean Baba is a former player of Dreams FC, his club. So he actually loaned Baba to Asante Kotoko, and when Baba came, he took him to Chelsea. So he's behind Baba Rahman, Benjamin Tete, quite a number of players that, you know, Kurt is behind them. So in terms of what he's done on the local scene when it comes to football administration, if you really know him well, you know the person that I'm talking about.
We've got 3 more names to look at.
Yes, we have Jordan Kuma. Jordan Kuma, not too much about him because he has come in just as Amanda Clinton.
Okay.
He's just
fresh.
Not necessarily from football.
Yeah.
He's not a football person.
Exactly. Okay. Amanda Clinton, just like Amanda Clinton. So
he's a chief?
He's not a chief. He's the one in the blue tie. Is it
okay.
Blue or,
okay.
Yeah, he's the one in the blue tie.
In the glasses.
Yeah. Those that came with him, the entourage that came to support him.
This is a recent picture.
So this is when he went to file.
Friday. Yeah, this was just Friday.
Okay, but what do we know about him? Like, who is he?
Well, he's just a lawyer. That's all we know.
Okay. All right, next one.
Next one. So now we've talked about Palmer. We've talked about
Fred Papo.
Exactly, Fred Papo. Fred Papo has also been around for a very long time. He's one that we all know him during his role as the Black Stars Management Committee Chairman. It was during this time that we qualified for our very first World Cup.
2006. Yeah, he used to talk. He was
the chairman of the Black Stars Management Committee.
I remember.
But he's coming on the ticket of Greats Olympics.
Yes, and also vice president of the FA.
Yeah. Was he sacked by Kwesi Nyantakyi?
Well.
Or he was just a victim of those rollover coup d'etats?
He fell out with Mr. Nyantakyi, and then at that point, you know, the president didn't have the powers of just taking out.
So he contested him.
So what normally happened was you have to go to the executive committee, the emergency committee, where every decision you take there would have to be ratified by them. So that was what happened then. Not like the George Fuyes case where Nyantakyi says, okay, I've handpicked you.
But then...
Okay, but even with that, we know how powerful the president of the FA
was at the time.
And how he had a lot of control.
And most of the powers... with the normalization committee new statutes, the president will not have the power to appoint.
But I'm sure that he's very popular as well, even outside the GFA. That the normal ordinary Ghanaian thinks that.
I mean, he's that proper gentleman, Fred Papo, who
I think I would love him to be.
He works as the Danish embassy as well. So fine gentleman, and we all know the things
I see him on the Pram Road a lot around Tema. I don't know whether that's where he lives. Anyway,
okay,
so
let's talk about.
We have a last one. Something else.
Nanayo and Ponsa.
Nanayo and Ponsa. Okay.
What Fire Rangers?
Ket's the youngest. No, Naya is the youngest.
He's the youngest.
Yeah, he's with Fire Rangers.
He looks very familiar.
Nanayo looks very familiar. Yes, I know. You definitely have to know this man. He was the only man that stepped up to contest Mr. Nyantichi.
Oh,
if you remember, he came out, brought his manifesto way back, and decided to contest Mr. Nyantichi. And at that point, he took steps to step down as a FIFA intermediary. You know, with the rules, you cannot be an intermediary and contest this position. So he took steps to,
okay, we have to wrap up. And because of time.
Well, on this one, because we have to bring...
because I wanted to ask, which delegates are we talking about, the constituency?
We have to do round-up of the 120 people are voting, correct?
Yeah, 120.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in October. So we've got a lot more days to talk about. This morning, we just decided to bring your profile on 7
We'll get some of the aspirants to come here and share. Kets is launching his manifesto. That's tomorrow, Tuesday.
Manifesto launch?
Yeah, of course.
I went to his Twitter handle and I saw a great video, like a politician.
You know how interesting this is? They are doing everything like it's a general election.
Like the parties do.
Yeah, when it's only 120 that are going to vote. And it tells you the interest we all have in football.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure
but I think we need this buzz, right?
The Ghana Bar Association is having the elections. I'm sure it wouldn't be as big as this.
We don't mind.
So watch out on Pulse. Pulse is at 3 p.m.
And
every day.
Palmer is also launching his manifesto.
That'll be interesting.
That's all. It's
so we can have some vibe.
You guys must come.
I think we all need to be involved.
Yeah,
just
but you
invite
can,
one of the
you
days.
can watch out
let's do some
for
of
the
the
candidates
one-on-ones
as they appear on Pulse. Pulse is at 3 p.m. with Gifty and appear every day until we're done with the 7. But Benedict, you also have to do a wrap of the English Premier League. Manchester United lost.
Let's talk about it. I mean,
Don't talk about Manchester United. Don't talk about Chelsea.
No, but before we talk about United, something happened.
No, but we lost because we had a goal.
Roland, it's okay.
No, something happened here in Ghana at the Baba Stadium. That was on Sunday. Local Black Stars they played a chance for the we lost to Burkina Faso by a goal,
but we'll go and win in Burkina. This is we're not
with the same team B.
The juju way Burkina get, we get more.
You think that what happened with the Black Meteors, we can go and
replicate it will happen, sir. More.
But what's happening to Manchester United?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Listen, we're not in good form. That's it.
Is it true? Pogba is that?
Mourinho put it so simple. He says, now you guys, you don't have top class players.
Hey.
Yeah.
But Pogba is supposed to be
okay, so I guess
now the door at Madrid will be closed to Pogba. The door at Barca now he's talking about current form will be closed to Pogba.
Yeah, because he needs to come up.
We don't need him to.
Oh, it's true. I think Mourinho is a great coach.
Benedict, we have a wrap of the Ghana Burkinabe, and then we'll bring you the Premier League as well.
Ghana's quest to qualify for 2020 African Nations Championship began with a disappointing start following a 1-0 home loss to Burkina Faso on Sunday. A 94th minute strike by Yannick Pognongo condemned the Black Stars to defeat in the fixture. Masokunedu's outfit now have it all to do in the return leg in Ouagadougou on October 18. The aggregate winners after the second leg will join host Cameroon and 14 other teams for the final tournament in January next year. The Black Stars B are hoping to return to the continental showpiece for the first time since 2014.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so they lost by a goal to 0. Ghana lost in Kumasi.
Normal.
Can we overturn this?
It will be difficult because this is the same team. It will be very difficult.
We'll slap you.
This is the same team that made it difficult for us to qualify last 2 years. Last 2 years we couldn't play at the Chan tournament because of this same Burkina Faso team. That was
so they are our problem.
Yeah, that was in the second round qualifier, and this is the first round qualifier. So and you lost in Kumasi, your own backyard.
But
when is the return leg?
The return leg is in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we have to go to Europe. We have to go to the EPL.
Yeah, it's football. Anything can happen.
So we had score lines for Manchester United losing against
West Ham United,
a top team. Is West Ham a top team?
Of course, West Ham, they are not a bad side. They're a very good side.
You know this?
They are fourth now.
They are fourth now, and Manchester is
Manchester United. They are just somewhere.
All right, Benedict, your time is up. This is the last thing that will allow you to do.
Okay, so take us through.
I was talking about the Man City Watford game. City, big winners over the weekend, won
8-0.
Yes.
Yeah.
Won 8-0.
Were massive.
Then so Newcastle drew
against Watford.
And then we had Crystal Palace drawing 1-1 with Wolves, and then West Ham United. Arsenal actually came from 2 goals down to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So in the other leagues, can you guys give us some score lines?
Barca lost to Granada
and then
by 2-0. Real Madrid won away
fantastic
to Sevilla by 1-0. And then in Italy,
yeah, because I love Zidane.
I watched
Real Madrid.
the Verona Juventus game. What a game it was!
In Italy,
actually took the lead at the Turin.
And there was Inter highlights too.
Inter AC Milan, David Della Madonnina.
Yeah.
That's how he scored.
Who won? Inter.
All right, guys.
Now you know, Charlie. If
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
And Lukaku scored a goal. And Lukaku was playing for Manchester United last season.
They didn't like him, so
you said what was the score line? Manchester.
Manchester lost.
Thank you, Benedict, for sports. Log on to myjoyonline.com. We've got a sports page. You can get a lot more of the updates there.